Good.
So we left off with eyes and teeth in. Today we're doing lips and eyelids. My pieces are starting to firm up a little bit. I don't know how yours are doing, but mine's starting to firm up a little bit, which is not a bad thing because it's easier to work with when it's a little more firm. But I had to take a couple extra precautions when I'm attaching now. And I always think this makes the mugs look so funny. I'm going to use my tool and I'm going to score around the eyes.
Looks like a raccoon.
Yeah. And I'm going to score around the mouth. Then I'm going to take my vinegar water and just paint a little vinegar on there and let that stuff start softening up before I start the construction of the eyelids and lips. So I get that on and I'll just set him aside for a second. We're going to go to the board real quick. Right now we have an eyeball in. And there's my guy's eye, looking down. We're going to make an upper and lower eyelid. You need to look at your specific person that you're constructing, because everybody has little idiosyncrasies in their faces. So you need to look at your particular guy. But as a rule of thumb, my eyelid is going to be flat on the bottom and then like an upside down Nike swoosh. Then, because my upper eyelid is not flat across, it's rounded here, I'll come back in and I'll cut a little piece out and dome that. My eyelids are always in the corner of my eyes, top, bottom. Don't make your eyelid connect up here. That's just not logical, all right? So I put this piece on and it sets like that, covering the eye. I do my lower one, it starts off flat. I go a little bit deeper on that one and I'll cut it out rounded also. And I'll set it on. And that's how my eye is going to look on my mug. Does that make sense? Your eyeball is a big round eye and you're covering it up now with eyelids. Let's see it done. It doesn't take a ton of clay to do your eyelids because your eyelids are really thin. Think of the eyelids on your head right now. They're not really thick. It's just a thin layer of skin. So we're going to make thin ones ourselves. Thank you. This, when you roll this out, is going to look like a surfboard. You need to pay attention to what I'm doing right here. I am not going back and forth on the piece. I'm rolling it, I'm picking it up, I'm moving it. If you don't do that, it's just going to stick to the board and the clay is going to crack and be fragile and be nasty versus a nice, clean, thin slab. When I say thin, I'm not kidding. We're a thin slab. Let the games begin. Here we go. Eyelid. Cut off the excess. When I make one eyelid, I'm going to cut two at the same time. So I'm going to lay my slab down, lay the other slab on top. So when I make one cut for an eyelid, I'm cutting two eyelids at the same time. That Nike swoosh we talked about. Now, I'm going to round this, but because my guys are all old, nasty, mean people, I don't do a nice clean cut. I'll do a little jaggedy cut for his eyelid there. It just gives a little more dimension for my guys when I do it. So now I have two upper eyelids that are the same size. I don't like that clean, fresh cut. So I'm just going to rub my hands on it a little bit and kind of round off those sharp cut edges. Now I'm going to lay the eyelids in place now. In the corner and over. in the corner and over. So the eyelid set on like that. Then I'm just going to blend the outside part. I'm not going to touch where it comes in contact with the eyeball. I want that spot to be that nice clean cut that we had. And I'm going to clean it up perfect right now. Just get a little smoothing, make it look a little nicer so I get that lower eyelid in. Upper eyelids. Cut one, cut two. And again, round out those cuts so they're not so sharp. Set eyelids in. And just blend the lower part of it. Then I can spend a little more time cleaning. I will do my cleaning up afterwards. No sense wasting your time doing that. One thing we didn't do, we're doing today. This little spot right here, the septum, right underneath your nose and your lip right there. I'm going to take that cutout tool or this wood modeling tool, and I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to just cut out a small little section there to make that septum in the mouth. You can score that back up. Now on to lips. Coils. We should be pretty good at this now, huh? We've made enough coils for that coil pot. Now this is a trick I picked up from Dave Regan at a workshop Miss Jaffe and I went to in Santa Fe. I'm going to take the red rubber rib. You can take the big one, it's easier with the big one. And I'm just going to roll this across the lip. What is that creating?
Wrinkles.
Wrinkles in the lip. You look at most people, especially in the wintertime, they're going to have those dry, chapped lips. This is going to give that effect. And again, mine are old, wrinkly people, so I want old, wrinkly lips. So I'm going to shape the lip, how it's going to go on the guy's mouth, and it looks like a U for this particular mouth, is mouth wide open. And I'm going to place the lip covering up where I put the porcelain on the gum line, so I can't see where the teeth are attached. Okay? And I wasn't worried about measuring the lip and get it the right size. I'm going to cut it right now. Look at every lip in here. It's fat in the middle, and by the time it gets to the corner of the mouth, it's tapered. It's in a fine point here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find the middle of the mouth there, and I'm going to cut this at an angle and create that coming to a point edge of the lip. And then I'm just going to blend the outside of it. I'm not going to touch the clay where it's going into the mouth. And again, I'll blend up better when it's done and do my final shaping after I got the top lip in. But now it kind of looks like Bubba Gump, which is that bottom lip sticking out. Barbecue shrimp, shrimp kebab.
Shrimp boat.
Here you go. What other shrimp did he eat?
Saute shrimp.
Saute shrimp.
I love shrimp.
Shrimp and beans. We'll texture this one now. Got to have a textured upper lip if I got a textured lower lip. And while we're doing this, look around the room also. Right underneath the septum, what does the lip do?
Curves in a little bit.
Yeah, you've got a dent right here, don't you? A little V right there. Some more prevalent than others. Bam! And yours is a sharp V there. So we're going to take our upper lip, we're going to bend it in the middle, and then back down. And now I've created a bird, a brooch, a mustache, a pterodactyl. And doing the same thing. I'm going to set the lip in place, shape it to where the lip's going to go on the guy's mouth, cut off the edges. It could be the worms eating out of his brain also. Pink Floyd and the worms ate into his brain. Nobody? Good music. Y'all need to listen to that. Pink Floyd, The Wall. I like starting right there in that septum so I can get it put back in nice. And then we'll just start smoothing the lip out from the side out. And then a lot of smoothing. And then it needs to be cleaned up more, but that's the lips in. Yeah, I got a big dent on this side, so I got to do some cleanup still. All right?